Hi, and welcome to Come Play with Meeples. My name is Joe, and today we are going to play Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, the first scenario called Roadside Ambush. This entire campaign has up to 25 scenarios in it. I'm not really too sure how many you would actually play through in a playthrough. I really enjoyed playing Gloomhaven with my friends for a couple of years when that original one first came out, but this time I thought I would share it with you guys. So I've decided to start with the Demolitionist and Hatchet, and we'll just start with scenario 1 and we'll see how far this series goes. So let's get started. So in order to get started, we have to first read the cover of the scenario book. It will be good to get back to the Sleeping Lion. After a fortnight going up and down the still river, chasing a bad lead on a missing blacksmith, you can almost feel the warmth of the inn's hearth when Gloomhaven's walls come into view. You are almost home. To be fair, it's not just the blacksmith. An alarming number of people within the poorest districts of the city have gone missing. Usually, nothing comes of it. Just another poor soul forgotten out here on the edge of civilization. The blacksmith's wife, Sandy, however, managed to somehow scrape enough money together to hire you to find her husband. You're not sure where the money came from, but no matter the source, it couldn't have come easy, which makes it doubly painful to return to the city empty-handed. True, Sandy was a little late on the payment, but you are the Jaws of the Lion, one of the most well-known mercenary groups in the backwater dump of a town. Surely it can't hurt to take a charity case every once in a while. Getting good jobs is about maintaining a reputation after all, which is why you really need to get to the bottom of this and not return to the widow with nothing but the calluses on your feet. Also, you probably shouldn't call her a widow to her face, at least not until the fate of the blacksmith has been confirmed. Given, however, that none of those who disappeared have returned, the outlook is grim. As these cheery thoughts pass through your mind, you notice movement up ahead and immediately draw your weapon. The sun has dipped low in the sky, reducing visibility, but you can clearly see some ramshack wooden barricades blocking the road in front of you. And sure enough, as you cautiously approach the scene, Vermlings jump out from behind the obstructions, flashing crude swords and sharp sticks. You have to admit, you are quite tired from the day's journey, but still, those oversized rats certainly picked the wrong group of travelers to ambush today. You are the Jaws of the Lion, after all, and are always ready to show there is only one outcome for anyone who dares to threaten you. So now as a reward, on our map, we can add location 1, Roadside Ambush, to the map in section B1. So I will do this off camera, but what that means is here's your sticker sheet. So the first one here, Roadside Ambush, would simply apply to the board here. And then this board here will help track which scenarios you've completed, which scenarios you still have due. It's very much like a miniature version of the map from Gloomhaven. So next we have to read the intro and the special rules for this particular scenario. So our goal here is to kill all the enemies. Introduction. The road back to Gloomhaven has been long, and now to get attacked by Vermling when all you want is a warm meal and a soft bed. Well, it makes you mad enough to kill these mangy creatures before you collapse from exhaustion. Of course, the Vermlings have other plans. They gibber about wanting your coin and the meat on your bones. Nasty things, really. Best to ignore their rant and end this quickly. So in this scenario, there's special rules, and it says make sure each character's starting hand consists of the 6 ability cards marked A. So as you can see on my card trays, I already have the 6 cards laid out. In the real Gloomhaven, you would have more cards than that, but the first 5 scenarios here in this campaign help break in new players. So if you're kind of new to the game, this is probably the better one to start with to learn. The Vermilion Raiders will act on initiative 50 each round. They will move their base move value, and then if a character is adjacent to them, attack for their base attack value. So that's just telling me to just use the values straight here and not to quite use yet the monster's attack deck. That will come in, I believe, in scenario 2. And it's just the way the game's kind of helping players ease into it. And that's part of the reason in the narrative you're supposed to be coming back to the town, so you're already somewhat tired, and that's why you're already down to 6 cards, is kind of the way that I'm reading this, at least thematically. So next we can put our characters on any of these 4 spots. So I've decided I'm going to put them there. And then for a 2-player game, you only focus on the top color. So if it's white, you put a white base there. If it's yellow, you put a yellow base there. And if it's black, you don't put anything there. Now we're set up and ready to go to play Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. So as in other games, I won't go through every rule that can be done. I'll bring them up as they come. But generally speaking, when you do your turn, you're going to grab 2 of the cards from your hand. And basically you'll get to play the top of one and the bottom of the other. So you can do whatever actions it says here and here, or you can take the side actions here. These numbers here will determine your initiative. So as I just read, the Vermlings have an initiative of 50, and that's set for this round. So I can very easily plan to go before them by playing the 42 card first. Or I should say on top. Once you've determined the initiative order, then you decide which halves you're going to play. So in the instruction book, it actually tells you which 2 cards to play for the first round for every character, just to even break you in a little bit more into one round at least. So I'm just going to do exactly what the book tells me to do here. So it says for Hatchet here, I should use center mass, and double throw. So then I would decide which initiative I would want to use. I'd put that on top. Now in a multiplayer game, you would have to keep that hidden until everybody's ready. But since I'm playing solo here anyway, I'm just going to leave it up. And then for the Demolitionist here, they say use the 1-2 punch and then knock out the support. So again, I'll pick the initiatives. I'll pick 20. So now you would flip over the monster cards to figure out their initiative, but we already know it's 50. So in this case, in this version, they have very handy little markers here to help you remember whose turn it is in order. So then the Demolitionist has 20, Hatchet has 24, and the Vermlings have 50. So that's the order we'll play. So now it's the Demolitionist's turn, and these are the cards we got. So I don't think it actually tells me what to do on those turns, but we'll just think about this here. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll want to move, and then I can strengthen self. So I'll probably do that first. So I get to move 2, and then if I destroy an adjacent obstacle, I can perform strengthen on myself. So I'll discard that. He can move up to 2 spots, so I'll put him there. There is an obstacle here with the green border, so he will destroy that. So you put the marker on there, so now it's a regular tile, and anybody can actually now move into that space. And now he's also been strengthened until the end of his next turn. And what that means is now I'm going to have advantage. So when I have to pull over a modifier, I'll actually pull 2 cards over and I get the better of the 2 options. So then for his second action, he'll have to play the top here. So here he can do an attack of 2 and then attack of 1, and then you modify. But again, I'm going to have the advantage. So I will attack this Vermilion here. It's number 2. So I flip 2 of these. I got a 0 and a -1. So because I have advantage, I choose between those, and of course I'm going to choose the 0. So that means I hit that Vermilion for 2. Now the game does come with these little tokens, but I prefer to just use dice to mark, and it'll be easier on the camera as well to see how much health the enemies have. See if that's a little bit better there. So that was his first one. Now he does get another attack 1. So that's going to be modified by -1 or -1. So no hit on that one. And that's the end of the Demolish's turn. So now we go back to Hatchet. And we see what he's got. Well, he's got ranged attacks on the top. Okay. Just looking at these cards. And I'm thinking I'll do this one first. And then you'll have a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. So he doesn't even have to move. And then it would be an attack of 4. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'll hit him for 4, modified. And because he doesn't have strength, he only draws 1, -1. So that makes it 3. Well, 3 plus 2 is 5. And the creatures only have health of 5. So in that case, this one has been defeated. So that's the end of our turn. Now would be the Vermilion's turn. And the rules said you follow exactly what they can do. So they can move 1 space and then attack with a hit of 2 if something is adjacent to them. Well, we're nowhere near them yet, so it'll be a while before they hit us that way. So you always first start with the elites, which are the yellow bases. So I'll move him 1 closer to the nearest adventurer. And then from here, you're supposed to do it in number order. Let's see, this one is number 3, and this one is number 6. Not that it would matter in this case anyway, because he'll move 1 forward, he'll move 1 forward, and that's the end of their turn. And now it goes back to our turn right away. So now I have to pick 2 cards again. And I see he's got the Demolitionist, and I haven't named my characters yet. If anybody wishes to throw in a comment about what I should call them before I get to my second part here, please do. Let's see, he's gonna have to move. So, okay, so for this guy, I think I'm going to use Explosive Blitz and Piston Punch. And again, I want my guys to go as soon as possible, so I'll make him 19. And then for Hatchet here, looks like I'd want to use this. I got to get to within range of 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to have to move at least 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Do I have anything that would help me move that far? Actually, yes, I do, right there or there. So I think I'll use this one. Oh, and this one. Okay. So these are my character's cards now. So now we put them back in that order. So Hatchet will go first because he's 18, and then the Demolitionist will go at 19, and finally the Vermilings at 50. So the Hatchet here is going to move 3 on this card here. And you can move through your own team, but you just can't end your turn on them. So 1, 2, 3. Now he's with, oops, supposed to use that one. So he can actually move up to 5. Sorry, I had the cards reversed. So in that case, where do I want, I just need him within a range of 4. So I'm gonna want him fairly close. So maybe I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to get him out there in the action. And now he'll do an attack of 3 at a range of 3. Well, it's only a range of 2, so that's fine. He'll hit for 3 plus 0. So he hit the elitist for 3. He's number 4. The elites have health of 10, so it's going to take a little bit to get rid of him. And now the Demolitionist can move. I do want to use that one, so I'm just using the normal standard move of 2. 1, 2. And then a range of 4 and hit of 2. And he gets the strength yet, so it's -1 or 0. So it will be the 0, and that makes it an attack of 2. So the 3 becomes a 5. And now his strength ability is gone. And now the Vermilings will go. So in this case, he could get to either one, and I believe then he has to focus on the one with the lower initiative from the last round, which would be Hatchet. So I'm going to have him move to here. So he can move 1, and then he hits for 2 against Hatchet. So we have to flip the monster's modifier. Of course, they get a +1. So that makes it a hit of 3. Well, here's the health and the experience dial. So they start with 8, and now it goes down to 5. Now this one's going to move 1, so he'll just move there. He'll just move here, and that's the end of the enemy's turn. And now it's our turn. We're down to 2 cards left in our hands, so it makes a pretty easy choice here. And I want to make sure that I go first on both cases. So now we have Hatchet, then the Demolitionist, and then the Vermilion. So it's Hatchet's turn already. Don't like the range 1, although you could muddle them too, which does mean disadvantage on all attacks. It might not be such a bad... At first I was thinking of just getting him to hit with the 3. Wouldn't quite get rid of him, but I guess then with Hatchets 2, we would be good enough there, rather than the 1. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm first going to do the attack of 3 against the elite here. So now he draws a modifier of -2, so he still only hits for 1. Can't find that 6, there we go. Okay, and then now he can move up to 2 hexes away, and then all adjacent enemies, get 1 extra damage. I was thinking of pulling him away, but now I'm thinking of moving him more into it. So let's do that. So we'll move him here because then he can hit both enemies for 1 damage. This does not get modified because this is a direct thing. So in that case, he gets to 7. And this one down here, which is number 3, will get 1 damage. Now we go to the Demolitionist's turn. And I was going to use the range attack here first, attack of 2, range of 2, so 1, 2, and 1, 2, and I can target 2, so I'm going to target both of these. So I'll first go after the elite monster there. Gets modified -1. We do have +1s in our decks too. So it hits for 1. Now I'm wondering, can I make the second attack on a same enemy? I think it has to be separate. I'll check that in the rule books later. So I'll just hit the other one for now. So he's going to get hit for 2, and that is a complete whiff. So I completely missed. So far they have not been doing well. So now it is the monster's turn. Always start with the elite. Maybe this wasn't such a smart idea. I was really hoping I'd get rid of him. So he's going to hit for 2, make that 1. So the 5 becomes a 4. And now this regular monster is also going to hit for 2 damage. So he's already down to 2 health. That's a problem. And then this one will move 1 closer. So now we are out of cards. So what is going to happen is we're going to take what they call a short rest. So we have all our cards in our discard pile here. We have to shuffle them up. Randomly pick 1 to discard. Now if I really wanted to keep this one, I can take 1 damage. And then I have to take the next one that I pick. But in this case, I'm not really caring about that one. And we'll do the same for Hatchet. What I really don't want to lose right now for him is this heal 3 self. I want to play that right away if I can. Okay, and that should be good. Flip. Okay, so I'll discard that one and put the other ones in my hand. Now, because it is a short rest, I still get my turn. So we're still going to play the regular round. I seem to have missed one here. Okay, so now I got to pick 2 cards. Well, I know because Hatchet is down to 2 health, I want him to get some health. And I might need for him to run away a little bit here. So I think I'll use this one. Yeah, I think I'll use this one to just run away a little bit. So we'll go after the other guy. Lots of things to think about. Okay, then over here, maybe he'll try the big one again, where he gets target 2. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go like that, there. So there's our order. So Hatchet will go first, so he is gonna heal self 3. So he's gonna go from 2 up to 5. And then I'm gonna have him move back a little bit here, just so they're not all thumping on him. And I'll move him to over there. And then the Demolish will go, he'll move 2. So I'm actually gonna have him move here for 2. So he'll strengthen again. Okay. And then I will use the attack 2, range 2, target 2. And I am gonna target this guy. So I actually have disadvantage because he's 1 away, so he doesn't have range on him, so he'd be disadvantaged, but he's also strengthened. So what that means is the 2 just cancel each other out. You flip 1 card over, and that is it for that one. However, last time I did draw this one, and it has the shuffle symbol, so I have to shuffle his deck. And let's hope that's better, because he's been pulling nothing but bad there. Okay, so we'll flip 1 for the elite, 0, so he hits him for 2, so 8 plus 2 is 10, so that actually is enough to get rid of him. And then for his second attack, he's gonna focus on this guy here. Now he does have range, so he just has his advantage, so he's gonna draw 2 and take the better of the 2. It didn't matter there. So he takes 2 damage. This goes to 3. And now it's the Vermilion's chance again. So this one will go first. He'll go to the closest one, which is him. That does put him in range. So that's 2. Minus 1 is only 1. So now the Demolitionist goes down to 7. Now this one's going to get a little bit closer, but he's still not within range. So that's the end of his turn. So now we go back to picking cards. So for Hatchet, I'm gonna go with the Stopping Power and Disorientating Barrage. So in this one, I think I'll just go with the attack 3. Here's what I'm looking at. I like the attack 3 with the Muddle. Otherwise I could stun him. Yeah, okay. So I'll go with these 2. So in this case, Hatchet again goes first, then the Demolitionist, and then the Vermilion's. All right, so Hatchet here has a attack of 3, a range of 3. So in this case, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go for him because I think the Demolitionist can get him, hopefully this turn. So we'll attack him for 3. So he gets hit for 3, and that's number 6. So he won't quite be gone. So in this case, I think I will just have him move 2, and then he gets to hit 1. That's that 1 for every adjacent enemy. So that will make it 4. And now we go to the Demolitionist. I think I will start with the attack 3 and Muddle. So we'll first do the attack. 3 plus 1 is 4, so that's enough to knock him out. And then a move of 2 which I think I'll... Oh, I can't get in there. Hadn't thought of that. So there's no way that I can stop here, get here, move over here. I guess I could try to start running around, but then I'm going to be committed to that. I think I'll just leave it. Okay, so now the Vermling will go, he will attack Hatchet there, and he hits him for 2. That brings his health down to 3. Now we don't have enough cards left to play 2 cards, so again we are forced to rest. So again I'm going to do a short rest. So again I have to shuffle up the cards. There's not many left here. Remember, it was supposed to be the end of the day. We're pretty tired, so discard, and then I get the other 2 back. As you can see, this is also your timer for how long you can take. If you take too long, you're going to run out of cards, and then you'll just lose the scenario just based on time. Okay. So now again, we pick our hands for this round, and I'm thinking we're going to get rid of them this round anyway. So I think I'll just do that and that. And here it doesn't really matter either. I'll just go like that. So now this time it is the Demolitionists turn first. So he's going to go. He is going to move 3. Oh, you cannot move through your own teammate or through the other team. Okay, that's okay. Then I'll just go move 2. I won't actually move. I will destroy this one. So he can get strengthened again. I should have taken that away, but that's okay, it's there again. And now he will attack 2 on the enemy there. He's strengthened, so he gets to pull 2. So he'll take the 0, that's 2, plus 4 is more than 5, so he's gone. And we have just won the first scenario of Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. They really toned this episode down, this scenario down, just to try to make it easier. As you'll see as we play through the other scenarios, there is more moving parts, and it does make it more difficult. But this is great to help new players learn the game. So now that we're done this scenario, we would just read now the conclusion. So here it says, "You wipe the blood of the last vermling from your face, and your thoughts return to the sleeping lion. Surely they've got a stew ready by now. It would be so perfectly warm and soothing, and it's right through that gate, so close you can almost taste it. But then another thought comes. It is highly unusual, brazen, really, for a pack of vermling to operate this close to the city. Could they be behind the string of disappearances? It's a long shot, but one worth investigating, especially considering this ambush site doesn't look like their base of operations. There is probably a nest nearby that, with any luck, will have more information on the missing blacksmith. And treasure. Treasure would be nice." So now as a reward, we get a new location, location 2. It'll also go into the B1 sector on the map, and it's called A Hole in the Wall. So that's it for this scenario. We've completed this one. So I'm gonna reset up for scenario 2, load this video up, and then come back and we will play scenario 2, and it looks like it's called A Hole in the Wall. So join us next time and come play with meeples.